Greetings, people of the world! Matthew back with you here in Overall Autism for the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. It is year 2, day 42 for EDSS and the Realm Reborn, and last time we got to see personally firsthand the extremities of emotions here in Ul'dah. We started by seeing a terrible tragedy happen before us, to going to paying a visit to an amusement park, which is this game's version of the Gold Saucer from Final Fantasy VII, and then went right from that to finding out that some powerhouse and power-hungry people in Ul'dah have a desire to make things a lot more vicious and violent for everyone involved in Eorzea. Hopefully, Alpha Node will have some news that might shed some light on this situation, or hopefully put us on a brighter path. Let's find out and speak with Mr. Alpha Node as we take on the challenge entitled Stories We Tell. Recent revelations weigh heavily on Alpha Node's mind. I should be glad to know the truth, and yet the thought that all this chaos was the product of one man's lust for power sickens me. How long do you think they intended to hide the existence of Omega from the Scions? That they even felt the need to do so is most troubling. It would be in our best interest to learn more of the military activities in the disputed territories. You are, of course, the Scion best suited to this task, Lieutenant SS. Do you take a moment to visit Maelstrom Command and make inquiries at the earliest available opportunity? I believe I can do that. Begone, whelp! This is no place for children! Oh, what do we have here? Apparently we have a girl who's getting chased away. Oh, it's Elle from a couple of episodes ago. Let's see if we can try and console her. Yeah, it's us. I was looking for you, mister. People said you were looking for the man who left with my parents. You know this girl? In a way. So he visited Stonestow as well. I see. Did you find the man? Were my parents with him? They were not, I am afraid. However, I can think of several places they might be. If you like, we can go and look for them together. Really? You'll help me look, mister? Of course, but first, I must needs finish speaking with my friend. He's telling me a secret, you see, so no one else is allowed to listen. Mayhap you could wait for me by that pillar over there. We require but a moment. Alpha Node expressing his generosity, and that is quite impressive. Okay, mister, I'll be waiting. I'll take her to the quicksand. Mayhap Mamodi will know what to do. A legion of Garleans and Aether-Star primal, even dealing with an Arcean would be preferable to this charade. Wow. Sometimes I feel Nephilia is too ambitious. We rush hither and yon in response to threats as they arise, without concern for the strained places on our limited resources. Sorry. On our limited resources, and ourselves. Mayhap the time has come for a change. As in? Oh, it's sponsored by Linkshell. Edie, this is Nephilia. I know this is sudden, but I must ask you to return to Revenant's Hall with all due haste. The situation in the 12th Wood has taken a turn for the worse. I will explain in detail once you arrive. I guess we better get on it. The 12th Wood, then the primal threat she spoke of before has been confirmed? I have received no reports of external activity, which leaves the sylphs? Yeah, remember back in year 1, the sylphs, we were trying to stop them from summoning a primal, and we did succeed, but it looks like those who have turned may have galvanized themselves. Go, Edie. You know as well as I that the appearance of a primal takes precedence over all else. Oh, and when you arrive, do inform the heir's antecedent that while I am grateful for her concern, she needn't fear for my safety. I am more than capable of protecting myself. I'll take your word for it, Alpha Node. and away he goes to assist Elle. But you heard the link shell message from Infilia. We have to make our way back to Remnant's Toll in Mordona, so I will meet you guys there in a moment. And we have returned now to the Rising Stones here in Mordona, and given that a member of the Order of the Twin Adder, the military of Gridania, is here, that can only mean one thing. Let's speak with Lady Minfilia to complete this challenge.
It is a relief to see you healthy and here, lady. The latest news from Uldar was most disturbing.
Well, it's been rectified. Hopefully.
Clearly, the only injury Alphanode suffered was to his ego. Doubtless it will heal ere long. The other Scions will need to be present for this meeting. If you are ready to begin, I will summon them now.
Oh, by all means, Lady Minfilia, please do. And to our Serpent Herald, we will provide a salute to you, sir. Because, of course, we are two of a kind in essence. So, let's speak with Lady Minfilia to get a challenge dealt with. Because it's going to be a big one. A challenge entitled Lord of Levin. Minfilia wishes to discuss the latest threat to arise in the Black Shroud. And so, let's bring in the other Scions, especially Ida and Papalimo.
Thank you for responding to my call with such haste.
And of course, Ida and Papalimo, the people responsible for overseeing this situation.
Rest assured, I should not have summoned you were it not urgent. To business then. I've received some most disturbing news from the Order of the Twin Adder. They have reason to believe that the sylphs may have called forth their revered guardian, the primal Ramuh.
I'm sorry, may have? Then it is not certain.
The Elder Seedseer informs us that the elementals themselves murmur of the Lord of Levin's return to the forest. The sylphs, however, display no signs of undue commotion.
Forgive me, Antecedent, but that fact need not contradict the elemental's testimony. Unlike his more bellicose compeers, Garuda and so on, Ramuh is reputed to act only in the defense of his children. I imagine he would soon make his presence known if there were any foolish enough to directly endanger the sylphs or their territory.
The abruptness of this development concerns me. Were we not keeping a close watch on the touched ones and their movements? If preparations for a summoning ritual were indeed underway, 'twould surely not have escaped your notice.
Did you sleep on the job, Ida?
Oh, I didn't. I was pretty sure it was going to happen, just not this soon. I beg your pardon? You foresaw this eventuality and did not to prevent it? I told Papalimo. I suppose I could have reported things to Minfilia earlier, but there was honestly wasn't much we could do except wait and see. You know how the sylphs feel about people poking around in their territory. They already summoned Ramuh right after the calamity, but that was because the Guardians came tramping through the forests. And so long as Castrum Orient stands, the sylphs cannot be blamed for wishing to have their guardian deity on hand. In short, Ida and I are in agreement.
Really?
The actions of the forest folk were inevitable and unavoidable. And I maintain that observation would have remained the best policy had it not been for the sudden influx of strangers into the Black Shroud. That, alas, we did not foresee. By all accounts, the recent violence in Uldar drove a number of refugees to seek safety under the concealing canopy of the trees. 'Tis like that the sylphs perceived this panicked migration as yet another invasion and quickened their efforts to summon their god. I am put in mind of Titan and the kobolds. Once again, it is the affairs of men which have paved the way for a primal's coming. Indeed, one cannot help but wonder what manner of place Eorzea would be without the civilizing influence of mankind. Be that as it may, this regrettable development does afford us a unique opportunity.
Meaning?
Edie, through your dealings with the sylphs of Little Solace, you once succeeded in preventing an untimely conflict with Gridania. I wonder, Might one who has treated with the sylphs so fruitfully in the past not achieve similar success with a patron deity? If Ramuh can be convinced of our intentions, it may be the first step to breaking the cycle of primal summoning. A fond hope. Were such a thing possible, we would not have been at war with the beastmen since time immemorial. But maybe this time we can! Let us continue this discussion anon. We must needs first consult with the nation of most affected by Ramuh's presence. The Elder Seedseer has requested your personal involvement, Edie. Pray report to Commander Hulwa at the Adder's Nest as soon as you are able.
Of course, Lady Minfilia.
Steel yourself for the worst. While I hope for a peaceful resolution to this matter, experience suggests that your meeting with the Lord of Leven will prove less than amicable. In such an event, your fellow Scions will of course lend you whatever support you require.
So yeah, what we stopped before, we may not be able to this time. So, I will meet you guys in a moment in Gridania at the home of the Twin Adder. And here we are at the Twin Adder's home base, so let's speak with Commander Vorsai Hulwa. Edie of the Scions, your arrival has been most anticipated. The appearance of a primal has ever caused for alarm and unease. Though my men stand ready for any eventuality, I know of none more qualified than you to snuff out this threat. Indeed, I would have you do so without delay. The Elder Seedseer, however, would speak with you first. She is of the opinion that your diplomatic, rather than martial skills, may better serve our cause. I leave further explanation to our learned leader. Pray make your way to Norfolk's altar. The conjurer in attendance will meet you to the lotus stand. Well, let's hope you're right there, Commander. So yeah, it's raining right now here in Gridania, and that's actually a clue to what Ramuh is like. But we'll see for ourselves, because yeah, if the sylphs are going to be summoning them, we better be ready for the worst. So off to the Conjurer's Guild, because that's where the Lotus Stand is closest. So let's speak with the Silent Conjurer here to make our way inside.
The other Scions have already arrived, sir. May I show you in?
Of course you may. And of course, in dress uniform when meeting the leader of a nation. Well, at least it's not raining at the Lotus Stand. But it will be once we go back out. I guess the Elder Seedseer has a way of controlling the weather, as it were. But man, look at all my fellow Lancers and Dragoons. They certainly stand at the ready, it would seem. And, Elder Seedseer, I offer you the proper respect. Please proceed.
Scions of the Seventh Dawn, on behalf of the people of Gridania, I bid you welcome. Your presence is of great comfort to us all in these days of uncertainty. I summoned you here to share tidings of a most urgent nature. But a short while ago, the great elemental spoke, and his voice was clarion in its intensity. Ramuh is returned unto the forest. Scarce
too
had
late?
his words ceased to echo in mine ears when we were visited by an emissary from Little Solace.
And that will be the little creature of interest.
Our guest informs us that the sylphs too have sensed the presence of the Lord of Leven. Though his exact whereabouts remain unknown, we may safely assume that the primal was summoned within the heart of the Sylphlands. Unlike the other primals you have encountered, Lord Ramuh is no raging avatar of destruction. He is revered as much for his wisdom as his strength, serving as both arbiter and guardian to his children. Given that we and the sylphs found a way to share the Twelveswood, it is my hope that this sagely immortal will be amenable to reason, and that conflict may be avoided. Blessed as you are with the power of the echo, You are one of the few among us who may commune with a primal without fear of influence. I would ask, therefore, that you represent us in this most delicate of negotiations.
I believe I can accommodate you.
Suffered enough. Upon this, we and the sylphs, and I would venture Lord Ramuh himself, are in perfect accord. Let us not endanger our shared home by engaging in unnecessary hostilities. Dear friend, I beseech you, safeguard the peace which exists between our peoples.
Of course, Elder Seedseer. This I can do. And certainly seems to make the little sylph happy.
My thanks.
Of course, Elder Seedseer.
Pray make for little solace, then. A member of the Order of the Twin Adder awaits you there. He will advise you on how to find the Lord of Levin.
Thank you there, Elder Seedseer. I appreciate it.
An ill wind blows through the forest. Yet, it is not only the 12's wood that flinches at its coming. All the land's Veorzia shiver in dread anticipation. Have care.
Of course, Elder Seedseer. So, we're done with our business there, so... You know what this means, and yeah, as the rain returns... Be back in a moment, at Little Solace. And we have now arrived back at Little Solace, and there are our good little sylph friends Kamuxio and Laxio. We haven't seen them in forever, but it's good to see them being so cute and adorable as they've always have been. But it's this Lieutenant of the Order of the Twin Adder who we want to speak with to complete this particular challenge.
Edie of the Scions, I was told to expect you. I understand you go to treat with the primal Ramuh himself, an unenviable task, and one that should be made all the more difficult by the interference of the touched sylphs. With the aid of the Scions and the inhabitants of Little Solace, the Order of the Twin Adder will enter the Sylphlands and do what can be done to clear your path. I shall brief you on the impending operation once you are satisfied with your preparations.
Which we'll get that in a moment, but first I want to see what's going to best suit my needs. And by the looks of it, it's going to be Sauteed Curl, which will be what I use. So, since it seems that battle will be required, battle gear we will equip. And yeah, we'll show the helmet off for this one, just because I can. Alright, let's speak with the Serpent Lieutenant to take on the challenge entitled A Sylphland's Sting. The Serpent Lieutenant is eager to explain the details of your foray into the Sylphlands.
Ready are you? Then allow me to explain the finer details of this foray into the Sylphlands. In order that you might treat with the Lord of Levin, we must first learn where the primal is to be found. Though we are certain Ramuh was summoned somewhere within the territory of the touched sylphs, his precise whereabouts yet elude us, and aimlessly thrashing around in the undergrowth will only lead to unnecessary conflict. We are fortunate then to have the expertise of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn at our disposal. Mistress Ida and her companions will make use of their Charlean devices to measure recent etheric activity. They assure me that the disturbance caused by the summoning of a primal shall prove a most obvious beacon. But we must not get ahead of ourselves. Your first objective will be to join up with your fellow Scions. Time being of the essence, they have already entered the Sylphlands. Fear not, however, they have a Twin Adder escort and a Sylph guide for
Help! This one needs help!
Maxio, huh? Well, obviously you're in distress.
The guide! What has become of our companions?
These ones were ambushed at the border of Touched One's territory. Touched One tossed a stinging skill bomb, and arrow shooting ones were left coughing and crying.
What of the Scions?
Arrow shooting ones were in the lead and took the worst of the stinging. Other walking ones scattered this way and that to escape the same fate.
Barely 2 steps into the Sylphlands, we have already lost our charges. but it will profit us little to go running after them until we know exactly what we're facing. Let us first return to the scouts and assess the situation.
So this is obviously where I come in.
This one has cleansing water for walking ones, splash it over arrow shooting ones, and rinse away the stinging scales from eyes and nose and mouth.
My thanks, I will leave this sea task in Edie's capable hands.
Thank you very much, Kumuxio. It's been a while.
'Tis wholly an auspicious beginning, but I must ask that you adhere to the plan and rendezvous with your fellow Scions. If you can get the scouts back on their feet, they may be able to point you towards your companions. Oh, and be on your guard. If this operation is to succeed, we can ill afford any further mishaps.
Coughing and crying ones are not far. This one will show walking one the way.
Thank you for that, Maxio. This rain is an ill omen. So let's ride my chocobo and get moving. Our fellow Scions of the 7th Dawn are in peril and we must assist them. So, racing across the bridge. Yeah, we went across this bridge before into Lark's Call, but we only observed from a distance. We did not actually really get into Lark's Call until now. Now we're really officially into Lark's Call for the first time, legitimately. And so we better get a move on, lest our fellow Scions of the 7th Dawn get their butts handed to them. So, running with my chocobo underneath all these low-hanging trees. I want to avoid the tree ant because it is a feral enemy. In fact, everything is feral around here. And given that they are plants and trees, everything will pretty much throw poisonous status afflictions on you if they score. So here's the bridge, and there's Maxio, and here are the 3 privates who are in distress, accompanied by a hostile sylph. Well, let's see if we can help out the privates here, because yeah, it looks like this is the first line of defense.
Oh, thank you. I'll sylph through some manner of powder.
And you?
Oh, that's so much better.
And finally you. I don't think this hostile sylph likes what we're doing. It's flinging its arms.
Oh, praise Nofaka, I thought to claw my own eyes to my own skull. Does that bastard sylph yet linger? I can still barely see.
Yeah, he's right over here. Hey there.
Another walking one! Ha! This one shall not falter! This one carries an entire sack of... This one's sack of skill bombs! It is gone! No matter! This one will fetch more, and the new walking one will suffer as well!
Well, we'll see about that. First, let's go back and speak with Maxio. Hopefully that tree leaves us alone. Maxio?
This one stole touched one's sack while touched one was gloating over coughing ones!
Good job.
But this one's clever trick will mean not if touched one fetches more scale bombs, walking one must act fast! This one will use another clever trick to help walking one move unseen. Walking one must sneak up on touched one before this one's trick wears off. Take this scale bomb and give touched one a taste of touched one's own medicine! Is walking one ready? This one is eager to make mischief for touched one!
So yeah, we have to speak with Maxio again in order to officially get this going.
Hold still! Walking one will soon be there, but not there! Just like the wind!
So, Maxio's magic will render you invisible. Find the touched sylph and surprise them with a stinging skill bomb before the enchantment fades. The invisibility spell will last for 25 seconds. If you run out of time before achieving the objective, return to Maxio and ask him to refresh the enchantments. Yes, we gotta be ready. While the invisibility spell is in effect, you can extend its duration by touching the sweet-smelling wildflower found along the way. And so here we go. We gotta move. And don't try running, because that will negate the effect, I do believe. Now if we come over here and touch the sweet-smelling wildflower, we get an extension. So, make it a point to make use of it. Only problem is, I don't see where... Oh, there you are. There you are. Hey, ugly. Take this.
Ow, ow, ow! This one leaves Smart and Prickle, but this one was being so careful with the scales!
Yeah, mission accomplished. And hey, we didn't even piss off the Dream Toad. That worked twice as well. So, back to Maxio. Because yeah, there are sylphs out here that will not be afraid to try and attack us if we get too close to them. Alright, Maxio.
Did Walking One give Touched One a stinging surprise? Touched One will not bother these ones for a time, this one thinks. And coughing and crying ones seem much better. Perhaps arrow shooting ones are ready to talk with Walking One now.
Well, that'll be made official when we speak with this teary-eyed private. I can finally see again. Your aid is most appreciated. You are ED of the Scions, yes? Then you will doubtless be eager to know what became of your fellows. Well, let's find out after we take a prism. We can choose anything we want, but yeah, it really doesn't matter what we choose because we're not planning on using any of these items, well, at least not yet anyway. So let's speak with the Teary-Eyed Pirates and take on the challenge entitled Scattered Scions. The Teary-Eyed Pirate appears... Sorry, my dinner just does not want to stay down there. The Teary-Eyed Pirate appears ready to explain the fate of your fellow Scions. As you are aware, our party fell victim to an ambush. We scouts immediately moved forward to engage the enemy and bid the Scions to take cover. And before we knew what was happening, the air was filled with that stinging, choking dust. The last thing I saw before my vision clouded was Master Papalymo stumbling northeast toward the gold leaf dais. I know not what befell the others, but touched sylphs are certainly alerted to our presence in their territory, and I urge you to locate your companions quickly. Maxio, our guide, will be of the greatest help to you in that endeavor. Meanwhile, my fellow scouts and I will seek to draw the attention of potential ambushers away from you. Their nasty tricks will not find us such easy prey a second time. Well, I wish you the best of luck. You'll need it. Alright, well, we know what to look for first. So, let's do this. Let's do this. So, Gold Leaf Day is right in the northeast corner of the Sylphlands. In the meantime, we'll have to look out for milkroot saplings too, because those things can hurt, and they're part of a fate that's currently in progress. Ah, ran into the path of a condor. Yeah, trying to find the right path. It's easy to get thrown onto the wrong one. These Sylphlands can certainly be a maze to those who do not know them well enough. Alright, so Papalymo is somewhere here in the Gold Leaf Dais. Oh, it looks like we found... Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to fight this Screech. Not to be confused with Screech Power Spot from Saved by the Bell. I heard he was arrested recently for something. Which is a shame, because, yeah, Screech was always my favorite on Saved by the Bell. I always thought Zack and Slater were way too pompous. Oh! Now let's get rid of this snarl before anything else bad happens. Alright, we gotcha. Alright, Papalymo. What happened to you?
Enough of this! My feet ache, my back hurts, and I wish to leave these sylphs in peace! Etheric readings? Why don't you let this fellow take your measure?
What? A giant tree ant? What? Oh no. Looks like we pissed someone off and they didn't like it. Yeah, but why are we seeing a tree ant attacking us after Papalymo got mad at us? Well, that answer is to come in a moment. Now that the tree ant is down, yeah, we want to speak with Papalymo, but why is his icon not appearing? Hey, Papalymo! Yeah, show your icon, please. Thanks.
Why do you persist? There's no need to take measurements. I can tell you with certainty that Lord Ramuh is nowhere to be found.
Well, why don't we speak with Maxio then? Maybe he can clear up this confusion? Hey, Maxio.
Is something bothering Walking One? Wise ones are not acting as wise ones should. This one is not sure how wise ones will behave, but this one suspects sneaky ones seek to deceive Walking One and have touched ones piss me off so much that I just have to beat the crap out of them. Yes, I don't have a choice, but it's something that I absolutely have to do in order to advance this scene. Now then, Maxio, where were we? This one suspects sneaky ones seek to deceive Walking One with skin-changing tricks. Walking One must take these trick-breaking scale bombs and throw them at skin-changing sneaky ones. Although this one does not suggest throwing anything unless Walking One is sure wise ones are not truly wise ones.
Yeah, you only have 2 of these, so you have to make them count. So yeah, we have to throw one at Papa Limo, and I believe we have to,
Why are we still here? I tire and wish to depart immediately. My companion feels the same way.
You won't feel that way after I do this. And Sylph and Scion's clothing.
Walking One with this one's tricky.
Yes, he did. And it looks like I'm not the only these stupid Sylphs to contend with. Ugh. And these things, they just keep coming in droves. Alright, Snarl. You want me? You got me. You're gonna regret that you got me, because when I'm done with you, you're gonna regret it. And I know I said that twice in the same sentence, but it doesn't matter because it's dead. Alright, Ida.
No, I will not walk another step. Let us cease this spoil to the force and return home.
Well, I guess we know what we're doing. Sorry, Ida.
Because Walking One didn't speak like Ida does.
I should have said that in speak of the sylphs.
Well, Walking One knew that this one was not masked one.
And that makes a lot more sense for Sylph to say. Oh, and look who's back. You just don't learn, do you? Therefore, I must make an example of you yet again. Curse you, you vile fiend, for making me do this. Leave my friend Maxio alone. And me too.
Wise ones were sneaky ones in disguise after all? So this one led Walking One into sneaky one's trap? Forgive this one. This one will search some more, and so must Walking One. Does Walking One still have trick-breaking scale bombs? This one fears more sneaky ones may be lurking nearby.
Did you provide me with more stuff to help me? Well, if I want more stuff, I'm gonna have to go up to the Hanging Barbs all the way in the northwest corner. I should bring out my chocobo for this as far as fighting is concerned. Let's go ahead and now summon for riding and be on our way. Alright, here we go. Gonna have to run past a lot of feral sylphs, obviously, and get heavy by them. Yet, it seems that every spell that an enemy possesses is capable of inflicting heavy on you, which slows you way down and just makes life a living nightmare for you, because it can be reapplied repeatedly and you'll be having to deal with it for a lot longer than you were hoping to deal with it. You do not have this area under control because I'm being attacked by 4 enemies at once! And as point proven again, yeah, because more often than not, when you're trying to escape from them and you're trying to get the effects of heavy off, odds are you're going to run into another enemy who can do the exact same thing and put you under the same affliction. Alright, taken off for now. A sylph bonnet, that would be a mushroom. Yeah, now plants are being thrown into the mix. So we want to go this way. I mean, you certainly have to admit, the visuals here are very impressive for this forest, but of course, given what's in here, you definitely wouldn't feel safe here. Alright, so we want to go down one of these paths. Well, we found another version of Ida, but is it actually her this time? And he's still with Thancred. Let's deal with you quickly. Oh, really? Yeah, thanks, Lanza, for finishing it off. Alright, Ida.
Edie, it's you! I was worried you wouldn't find us. Seeing as you have, though, do you think you could give me a hand? Thancred's being a bit difficult. I keep telling him where he should be taking readings, but he refuses to move.
Yeah, it seems like we have a problem here, so... Looks like we're gonna have to...
Oh, woe is me, I cannot go on. It is far too dangerous. What if something was to happen to my beautiful face?
I believe I have just a remedy for that. And so...
Yeah, but this one didn't act like one who was touched.
And for those of you who remember, Thancred actually was touched. Possessed by La Habrea. Alright, Ida, now that we've resolved that issue.
I really don't know what Thancred's so worried about. His face isn't that beautiful.
Well, let's see if you are who you say you are this time.
What did you do that for?
Well, it looks like, yeah, that's the real Ida. So, let's go ahead and speak with her.
Thancred turned into a sylph? No, wait, you're telling me that was a sylph all along? I can't believe I fell for that. I heard about the shape-shifting trick, but that sprite was just so convincing. I wonder where the real Thancred has disappeared to.
Yeah, I wonder too. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna call the episode here because, yeah, it's getting pretty dangerous out here. And so we're gonna call it for now. We'll take refuge behind this little area here because it doesn't look like anyone's going to attack us in this dead end. So as it stands right now, we know that the Scions have been scattered throughout the Sylphlands. All we can now hope to do is that we know we found Ida, but now we have to find out where the rest of them are. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. And when I join you again, we will continue to make our way through the Sylphlands to try and find the real Papalymo, Thancred, and maybe even Y'shtola as well. So until next time everyone, this is Matthew at Novora Autism, saying take care, and I'll see you soon.